Right, it's day 3 of my week with the iPhone, and there it is over there. A lot of people have asked, why don't you compare the iPhone with the HTC Touch HD? Now, it's a bit easier said than done. You can't really just summon up a HTC Touch HD. I mean, it's like trying to get Windows Mobile 6.5 installed on phones. It's not, it's not something you can just do straight away and easily just by visiting XDA developers. Anyway, here is the HTC Touch HD, which has been nicely provided by the lovely people at devicewire.com, just to show you a comparison between the HTC Touch HD and the iPhone. So we can make magic happen if we try hard enough. Now, just to show you a little bit on Internet Explorer on Windows Mobile 6.5. This is a beta version of it. Here's the, let's try and zoom in on that. Here's Internet Explorer, and we've got this new sort of search function here, which not search, zoom function, which zooms us in and out of a web page. So now we're going slightly off subject here, but here's the new browser that we've got in 6.5. I can use this zoom function on the right hand side and zoom in. It is a little bit slow, but this is a beta version from what we've seen of 6.5. It takes a while to format the text and put it into place. We've got this new favourites function here, which is still spelt wrong. Yeah, but there's the zoom function that you've got in there. You type in a URL at the top here, and it sort of guesses as you go which URL you're going to type. So that's a quick look at that, because what I wanted to show you was a comparison between the iPhone's browser, which I've been playing with a bit last night. I was just in the email setup for some reason. So we'll go into Safari. We're on 023G at the minute. Now I just wanted to show you little things like this. So, alright, I've got a really long URL there, look. Let's just zoom in on that. I've got a really long URL there. Don't know whether you could see that. Come on, focus, little camera, focus. Now if I put my finger over it, look at that. Little things like that are fantastic. Look, because obviously my thumb is covering where the cursor is. That little tiny thought, whoever came up with that at Apple, it's just fantastic little addition. What an absolutely brilliant idea. Why aren't things like that included as default in Microsoft? It just makes me feel that Microsoft are so unfortunately behind with their browser that it is almost unreal. I mean, I can select all the text in here, I think, if I click on the little X button there on the right, and I can go to hopefully, I try it with my thumb, cool smartphone. Let's try with the correct finger. I'm using my thumb. You can see I'm typing out down the bottom here on this what looks like a fairly fiddly keyboard, but it is actually really easy to use. And we've got the .com button down here, which again is a useful little addition, which I have seen on some internet browsers on Windows Mobile, I must say. Right, so here I am in iTunes, and I'm watching a trailer that I've downloaded, and it's a Mike Tyson trailer, as you can see here. If we go back to the main store here, let's just go back out of this. Get to the iTunes store in a minute. Now we can see in movies, there's the little iTunes trailer that I've downloaded. Now just to show you, that was free, it's about 100 megs. I'm just going to show you if I want to download a trailer. Download movie trailer. Let's just Google that. See what we get. We get some Empire movie trailers. Let's just click on there and let's have a quick look. Here's one. Let's click on that. Now these are all QuickTime movies. Now, if we find out where the trailer is that I've downloaded from iTunes, it's actually here in Movies on the iTunes folder on my laptop, and it's actually an M4V format. Now this is all a bit technical, because if I get my iPhone here, all I have to do and all I have to consider is the fact that I plug it into the computer, synchronize it, it goes down to iPod down here, click on iPod, and there it is, Tyson trailer iPod. So it syncs with the device like a normal iPod. You click on that, and there's the trailer that we've downloaded, and we got that trailer obviously from the iTunes store. You can see there it's downloading now. It's playing there, so we've got that. Now with the HTC Touch HD on the right here, I have to do something slightly different. I've found out that although the Touch HD plays MPEG-4 formats, that is only thanks to HTC. The Windows Mobile handset itself doesn't support QuickTime MP4 format, but HTC have put their own player in, so we'll go on to mention the other formats in a moment, but here we've got the HTC format here, but it won't play the M4V file type here. So what I'm about to do is copy it across to Movies on my HTC Touch HD, which I'll just show you now. My videos, and I've actually renamed the Tyson trailer here. You see how it's called Trailer iPod M4V. Now it won't play that if I go into the HTC Touch HD and I go to Album. Oops, Album. And I go into Albums, and I go My Device, My Videos. There is no Tyson video. However, if I go back to my computer, rename that to MP4, enter, suddenly it appears on My Videos. And then we can click on it, and it will display in the HTC video app. Very silky smooth video application that HTC have put on there. So let's try and run the two together. This is going to confuse things quite a lot. Right, let's get the iPod fired up. iPhone fired up. We go into iPod. I'm going to click on that. Start them at the same time. This is going to freak things out. Let's rewind it. Let's see if we can synchronise them. Oh dear, now that Touch HD is running low on battery. Now, I think actually the Touch HD's picture here is a little blurrier than the iPhone, and that's purely because the iPhone, I think this video was sold by Apple, obviously, to me. It was free, but it was sold and made available on the iTunes store, and it's probably designed exactly for the iPhone and iPod screen, whereas this it's a different screen. Obviously, it's had to stretch it slightly, or it's shrunk it slightly to fit on the screen. But either way, it's not quite. Let's just get to exactly the same frame if we can. You can see it's a slightly different size on the screen. So what I've had to do there is download a trailer using the iTunes store. There really wasn't another way of me finding that trailer unless I actually went onto the website and found a download and then hoped it was an MP4 format and then put it onto the Touch HD and synchronise it with Windows Media Player. So I've actually used the iPod's or the Apple store to download a video to the HTC Touch HD, and then I've had to rename it. There are obviously different things you can do with the Touch HD to get video, and I'll show you that next. I mean, if I try and open up the file that I've downloaded, I mean, it could be MPEG, it could be QuickTime format, it could be several other types of format. Windows Media on a Windows phone is going to fall over badly. It's just not going to work. I mean, if I go open file and I want you to open up my documents, and there's the Office look that I've found on the internet. If I click on it and go play, it's going to go, oh, I cannot play that file. I know it's an AVI, but it's a DivX AVI, and I can't play DivX format. So therefore, goodbye. So what you have to do instead, once you've got your piece of video, which you have to scour the internet for usually, or go onto several torrents websites to download, you know, you've got your video, so you have to then download something like Pocket TV, which we've got here, Core Player, which is a commercial product here, or the DivX Player, which is a beta, and you know, they might cancel it at any time. It's a free beta at the moment, and then I can watch my DivX video. So the whole experience of just downloading a trailer, which I couldn't do because they're all pretty much in QuickTime format, which Windows Mobile just doesn't really want to play with, I had to instead download an AVI, which I found on the web, which I then found was actually DivX format and couldn't be played with Windows Media Player. And only after I'd done all that could I hit play on the DivX player, and then if I press resume on here, and turn it up a bit,
this party has to have all the excitement, drama, and intrigue of my time here. And of course, classy. And classy, yeah. Michael, you're disagreeing with him because he's wearing a tux. Don't you see what he's doing here? Last week, Dwight sent out a memo about the dress code. So this is me showing him that I'm taking it very seriously. Oh, here's one. A string quartet playing classical music.
so you can see that that's struggling a little to play that, but it's not too bad. If we go back out of here and we use the commercial application Core Player, which I will desperately try and get out of here, it's a little bit tricky to use on a Touch HD, and we use Core Player instead, we can then finally watch our Office video.
After 15 years at this company, bravo, by the way, that we should celebrate with a very classy event, a night to remember. I think you're right. This party has to have all the excitement, drama, and intrigue of my time here. And of course, classy. And classy, yeah. Michael, you're disagreeing with him because he's wearing a tux. Don't you see what he's doing here? Last week, Dwight sent out a memo about the dress code. So this is me showing him that I'm
So there we go, got the Office there, and that is being played on Core Player. So, just a comparison there. The HTC Touch HD is fantastic. The resolution is better. The screen quality is better. But on the iPhone, I unlocked the phone. I've gone into the iTunes store here on either the phone itself or on my PC. I've actually, or you can go to the website, go to the Apple iTunes store and type in trailers. I've then gone into the iTunes application, synced it with this phone, with the iPhone, and instantly I have got my trailer on my iPhone, and I can watch it. I click one button, the whole experience is completely seamless. I haven't had to do anything complicated, I haven't had to scour the web. However, to get a piece of video on here, I've had to find the video, which has taken a long time, and usually you have to resort to finding it on sites where you shouldn't have to find your videos. I have then had to download a separate piece of software, Core Player, to actually play the video, because it won't play in Windows Media, which is part of the handset. And then I was able to actually view the video. Better resolution, I can watch, this is in, by the way, high def. This is in 720 high def mode, and I can view it in much better quality, but the whole experience to get it to that point was quite painful. Now, just to compare the two handsets, side by side, the iPhone is actually slightly slimmer than the Touch HD. It's probably difficult to see it. Actually, it's roughly the same depth, but because of the way the iPhone is styled, it looks like the iPhone is thinner because it's actually curvier on the back than the Touch HD. It's roughly the same sort of height and width as the Touch HD. I have got the actual iPhone upside down there. That's a good start. And you can see here it's got a larger screen than the iPhone. Several other differences. Obviously, the camera's better quality. It's 5 megapixel on the Touch HD, and I think it's 2 megapixel. I think on this one, on the 8 gig iPhone. The layout of the handset on the top is pretty much the same. Obviously, with the iPhone on the top there, we've got the 3.5mm audio jack, and on the Touch HD, we've got the 3.5mm audio jack and the power button in roughly the same position. Got a stylus on the Touch HD, which of course you don't have on the iPhone. On the bottom you've got the iPhone's dual speakers there, you can just about see them. But on the Touch HD the sound comes out the back here. We've got the connectors there, we've got the mini USB port for the Touch HD and the standard Apple iPod iPhone connector for the iPhone, and the volume on the left there for both handsets in question. Now, music. Let's compare music. Obviously, we had a bit of trouble with video because the majority of video out there is in a lot of different formats, and if you could find a WMV, a Windows Media video file, it would be a lot easier to put on the Touch HD, because you just copy it or sync it with your Windows Media player on your PC or on your whatever machine you have, and it synchronises across. That's what I've done with music. So here on the HD, let's just come out of that. I've actually gone into Windows Media on my PC, and I've put some music on there, and I've pressed sync, and it's synchronised it with my Touch HD. Okay, so let's say that our music is in here, and that's the music file. So I'll click on the music file and press play, and it plays it. It's fairly simple, but all of that interface that is on here is the HTC interface. If I had to use the Windows interface, I'd have to go into Windows Media and then go into My Music here, which is not very finger friendly, and then into All Music, and I probably have to start getting my stylus out at this point because it's a little bit tricky to press it on your finger. So I've got Pasha Massive and all good things, and then drive, and then play, and then it should play it, hopefully. There we go, so it plays the music. So there's a bit of a feeling of, it's a little bit disjointed there. Windows Media Player, it's a bit less friendly than the HTC TouchFlow version of the Media Player here, but it was fairly painless just to get the music across using the sync feature of Windows Media on your PC. So with the iPhone, obviously they've got the iTunes Store, da 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 da. I've got the same. Let's see if I go into songs. I've got some music on here. So I've got some music, and I just literally go into. I've gone into there. Did that a bit quick. I went into iPod on the bottom right, and then I've gone into Wireframe. Let's say that one. The sound on here, I must say, is much clearer, much crisper. But obviously the iPhone has already, in its previous life as the iPod, been extremely successful. So it does play music extremely well, and just transferring the music to the phone is extremely good. Right, I'm just going to do a quick comparison, if I've got time, to show you how to make a call. Now, on the iPhone, press the green button down the bottom left. Then we've got the favourite screen button. I want to go into keypad, and I can just dial a number. It's fairly quick and easy to type in a number there. With the HTC Touch HD on Windows, we've got some buttons on the bottom which we don't have with the iPhone. Obviously, we've got some actual quick dial buttons, so if I press the dial button, I can do pretty much the same thing. Now notice the keyboard isn't quite as large as the iPhone keyboard. There are applications that you can download for the Windows Mobile phone which give you a bigger keyboard, but obviously then it becomes disjointed with the actual HTC interface. So 08, it's not quite as fast, purely because multi-touch isn't available on Windows Mobile currently. So I do have a very, very small but still noticeable lag when I'm putting in numbers on the HTC handset. So that's making a call. Let's get back to. I'm going to drop these two phones. I tell you, they're quite glossy bits of kit. Oops. Look, I've only got £9.47 left on this iPhone. It's very, very clever. It actually, just then, I was making a call by accident, and it actually showed me in the very top of the screen, said, hey, you're making a call, why don't you press this to get back to the call screen at any time. Little tiny little tricks like that are probably because, I mean, a lot of people have said it, iPhone, the iPhone itself, because it is one phone, because Apple have worked hard to make sure that they don't do what the networks, what the carriers want. They only do what the customer wants. The customer wants one central repository to find their music. They want one central repository to find their videos. They don't want to be searching the internet. They don't want to have to battle against several dozen different formats and have to download several different pieces of software to watch those formats. They just want one phone that will download their music, that will sync with their computer, that will ring when it's supposed to ring, that will give them the Google Maps application here, and you can just click on it and you can see where you are instantly. Okay, I haven't got any data on this pay-as-you-go SIM card, unfortunately. You can download applications from one central repository, like the application I showed you before, this Urban Spoon. It was very, very easy to install. I just literally click on it to run it. I'm just going to choose a city because for some reason, you basically shake it and it will find a restaurant in your area. You know, it's so easy to do anything you want to do, and they haven't done what the carriers want them to do. Whereas I think Windows and the Microsoft way of doing things over the years has been, right, this is our interface, this is us, this is what we do. We have provided you with an operating system, and you can navigate it like that. But you can also put your own front end on if you want. You can also customize it to make it look like an Orange phone. You can customize it to make it look like an O2 phone. You can do this, you can do that, you can bend it, you can tweak it, you can adjust things here and there. And it ends up being so different to how it was originally intended that each and every Windows phone that comes out there is so different to the last that it's very difficult to probably support that, because everything is different about it. There is no one type of phone, and there is no one type of interface either, unfortunately. I can press things on this HTC Touch HD that I can't press on other Windows mobile phones. So every single phone becomes individualised, and I think perhaps there's an argument to be had for maybe reducing the amount of handsets that are out there. Obviously, it runs Opera on the Touch HD, which is so much better than the Internet Explorer. It is unreal. Just done, I don't know why, I've just done a search for large, and the browsing experience on the Touch HD is very, very pleasant. It's running the very latest version of Opera, which was specially commissioned for HTC with the Diamond originally, and it works extremely well. We can double tap, we can zoom in. We can't do the things like that you can do with the iPhone, but the browsing experience on the Touch HD, especially with the high resolution screen, works extremely well. So that is day 3 on a first very disjointed video comparing the HTC Touch HD with the iPhone 3G. Now, unfortunately, as you've seen, the iPhone doesn't have any data connection, so I wasn't able to do full comparisons with Safari browser here, which obviously you can do that to zoom and stuff like that, but I can't do that at the moment because I have no data connection. But I'll show you more in the days to come, and please do send me messages on the forum on what you want me to cover, because it's never a problem at all. Never a problem.